Yeah, holy, what's good about H4 Romanpuss here with the big bad Blueno guide. He is an insane runner. He does everything you could ever want from a runner, and that is exactly that. But without further ado, let's get right into it. If you guys have not familiar yourself with his skills and his traits, make sure you take a look over those real quick. I'll give you guys a moment to browse over these, as I will not be directly going over them in the video, and I will just be referencing them as we progress throughout here. Okay, first things first, up in my guide series is the stat recommendations. You're going to want HP and defense. You do have the capabilities to fight a little bit. Your basic attacks are very nice. Your skills are pretty nice, but they're very utility based. So honestly, just go with HP, go with defense. The heals that you get from your skill 1 is percent based, so it doesn't even matter how much damage you do. HP defense is the way. And honestly, if you catch yourself fighting, you're probably playing Blueno wrong, because your goal is to be getting any flags that are left on the field until you are 5-0ing. You can, if you want to spice it up, run HP attack, but it's probably not worth the investment to do that. I would stick with HP defense. Go 70% HP, 70% defense, and then that will leave you, if you have 18% traits, that will leave you 1 extra slot. If you're dealing with only 14% traits, I would go 70% defense, or 70% HP, and then the rest in defense, and get the best that you can with that. And if you are watching this during the current event medal ongoing, there is the CP9 set that allows you to get 18% medals for Cypher Pole units. So that is an option if you are able to take advantage of that as well. If you're watching this later in the series, try to go and get 80% traits, as they are very useful and they are vital to playing the game once you get in the higher ranks. Alright, now let's talk about the pros about Blueno. First off, his insane ability to capture flags. He is immune to pretty much everything as long as an enemy is on top of the flag with you. He has 80% damage reduction, which is not a little amount. That is actually disgusting. So really, you're extremely tanky and can take whatever flag you want. And on top of that, if you're alone, you have increased cap speed, which is mostly what runners are when they're fighting and playing. So that goes a long way. He's able to take pretty much any flag from whoever he wants, whenever he wants. On top of that, you are extremely mobile. Both of your skills allow you to peruse the map at fast speeds. Your skill 1 is extremely fast, and honestly is about just as fast as Roger's, like the EX Roger Dark units. And on top of that, it's same as like Red Runner Kings. Like, you can go so fast, and it's extremely short cooldown. And on top of that, you have a teleport skill that can go to the closest or the farthest flag from you at any given point in time. Next is your short skill cooldowns, which allows you to go, and if you have medals, specific medals that allow you to shorten the cooldowns, that goes even farther. On top of that, as I said earlier, the fast capture speed. When you are alone, you get the extra 50% flat cap speed that allows you to take them extremely fast and allows people to really not even give you a chance to bully you, honestly. So it's disgusting. And basically, when you're on the enemy flag and you're taking it, you're almost a god. You're just being immune to status effects, knockback, stagger, being downed. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Status effects. Holy, the list goes on and on, people. You will not fail. Alright, next let's talk about the cons. Honestly, you don't even have that many insane cons. If you were a defender or an attacker, yeah, maybe you have some cons. But the only things are you are vulnerable after you take a flag because you lose your immunity to a status effect. You're vulnerable for a slight second. If you know someone's waiting to status affect you, make sure you can press any of their skills. Either one works, because both of your skills, if you press them down and press and hold them, you will be immune to status effects and knockback and stagger and all of that. So as long as you're able to press the button, you'll be golden. The issue is if you take a flag, if the enemy times their abilities correctly, they will be able to time it so you cannot dodge and cannot use your skills in time for them to status affect you. So it depends on the enemy being good, but it's something to watch out for. Sometimes you don't want to take a flag right in front of them when you know they're just going to kill you right after. On top of that, you're relatively squishy when you're not taking flags, so it's something to be careful of, and honestly just avoid fighting in general. If you're running through with your skill 1, which you can almost always be running around with your skill 1, that will help you out a lot, as you'll be able to just keep healing throughout however much damage they're outputting. Next, the characters that you counter. Honestly, you're not really a fighter, you're a runner. So really, do you counter anyone specifically? Not directly, but indirectly, you do. So you take the flags from whoever you wish. You just got to watch out for people smart enough to stand off the flag. And then the counter is basically one-shotting you as soon as you take the enemy flag. So that's when you're at your most vulnerable state, is as soon as you take the flag and you're not pressing either one of your skills. But if you want to label specific counters as an indirect counter, I'm going to go with S-Snake, Gear 5, and EX Whitebeard. Those are some top 3 defender units that usually can defend and hold their own against almost all units between the 3 of those, but Blueno can sit there and take the flag from all of them. Next, let's talk about Blueno Counters. So there's not too many people who directly destroy you besides anyone who just kills you right after taking a flag, but there are some people who can stop you kind of from taking flags. So you have Pacifista, the red attacker. He can actually bombard you and he ignores damage reduction, so he can sit there and mess you up. So that's one person to be careful of. Anyone who ignores damage reduction is some things to be watching out for. And on top of that, someone like Kalgura, he also ignores damage reduction, so that's things to be on the lookout for. Both of his skills do. You don't want to sit there and take a flag in front of Kalgura because he will kill you. And then anyone that can perma CCU, that stands for crowd control, which is anything like tremor or candy or sing effects. Anyone that can do that as you take the flag, those are ones that you need to watch out for. So in a way, those are a counter, but if you're able to press your skills, they won't directly counter you. So people like Uta, you can fight back if you're in your skill 1 because you don't have to worry about her singeing you. But you're generally not going to want to be fighting these people directly. You just sit there, ignore them, and take the flag in front of their face. It's just after the fact is when you need to be on the lookout. Alright, lastly, let's talk about the medal recommendations. Probably one of the reasons most of you are here. Honestly, I like these. These are some good mix-ups and some good options. So the top one is the high skill 2 cooldown. So if you want to permanently be able to keep teleporting around the map, this is an excellent set. You have the Apu and the Brook medal, gives you 8% each cooldown for taking a flag. So as soon as you take a flag, that's 16% cooldown on your given skill 2. And then you have the Snake Man, which helps with running as well. So this is an overall fantastic set. It comes with, I think it's only double effect tags on your skill 1, skill 2 dodge. Comes with full cap speed, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, it might just be single effect on that. But it comes with a lot of utility, so I do recommend trying that out. And they're all gold medals, so if you have any of those characters, you can potentially get that. So then one tricky one might be that Whole Cake Island Brook. Just something to be careful of as you're trying to get those. So try and grind those out if you have those characters to work with. The other one is the Kaido set. I'm always going to throw the Kaido set. It does feel good to permanently have your skill 1 always up. And honestly, the hybrid Kaido medal gives you 8% cooldown on your skill 1. Everyone overestimates skill 2, but I think skill 2 or skill 1 goes a long ways because you just do the spin kick and you can just heal up from it. You're immune to status effects and it allows you to travel to the next flag anyways. So you kind of get everything you need plus topping off your HP. And then this last major ones is choose any of these 3 ones. Those are generally the sets that work well together specifically, but you can mix and match them as you wish. There's those different Jack medals there. There's the different King medals. If you want to use the Devil King, you can do that. That's more skill 1. A lot of these focus on being on the enemy flag. And then the Jack, the Elephant medal, I think it's the Elephant, whichever it's called. That one gives you 5% heal when you capture flags, so it gives you a little extra oomph as you're taking those, and with the amount of flags that you end up taking, it becomes worth, because it's not uncommon for you to get 5 to 7 flags on average in a game. And then lastly, I wanted to throw some other options there because this is kind of hard and it depends on what you work with. But the CP9 medals, as I mentioned earlier, you have the 18% chance on the Cypher Pole medals for that event going on currently. As I speak about this video, if you're watching this at a different time, the event's probably over, but you can still check out those CP9 medals because I'm assuming if you have Blueno, you might have some other CP9 units that you could utilize their medals together and those will work well. You have the Charlotte family. If you have different Charlotte family members that work well, you have the different Toby Ropo. So it's all what you have to work with, and you can mix and match those. So just look for different crews that work well together. And with Blueno, just try and focus on skill cooldowns and capture speed. That's all you need to worry about. That's your main goal. You don't really have to worry about fighting. So damage increase, damage reduction. Damage reduction could be an option if you want to go that route, but it's not absolutely necessary. So I would focus on skill cooldown and capture speed. But overall, that is my guide, you guys. I hope you guys found this useful. That's our Blueno. He's relatively simple to use. Just go capture those flags and you'll win games, I promise you. So hope you guys found this video useful. I'm your boy Romanpuss. I'm going to be taking off. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share this video. It would truly mean a lot to me. And I'm going to be taking off. Yeah, holy! Peace, beautiful people.